And please welcome love and life coach Victorya Rogers. How are you? Nice to meet you. Have a seat. All right, dating. That is it. You know, I get a lot of emails, all my singles that watch, and they ask me, Joni, why don't you talk about us? And you know, we talk about marriage and family and kids, but so this is for you today. So if you can't stay and watch the whole show, TiVo it or tape it or whatever, but this is important. And there are a lot of people that want to understand about, should I date, and who would be a good person to date, and how do I find that person, and what is the answer to all those questions?
Well, first of all, as you know, who you marry is really one of the most, next accepting Jesus as your Savior, it is the most important decision in your life.
It is. Marcus says that all the time. Next
and look
next
how well
to salvation.
He did.
Yeah. I think you did pretty good. I did pretty good too.
Yeah.
So what about that?
It is very important, and too many people just fall into a relationship, get addicted to somebody, and then they end up marrying them because they're addicted to them. So it is very important to know what you want before you date.
So what is some of the criteria for those who are watching, whether you're male or female, and say you are a believer? What are some of the things you look for in dating, and how do you find them? I mean, that's the thing. I mean, do you get into a dating, you know, on the internet kind of thing? A lot of people are doing that. What about that?
Yes, and that is very risky and very dangerous, and we can talk a little bit about that. But you would ask, what is the most important first step? And the first step is to know exactly what you want. I'm very big on really pondering, what do you want in your life? And if you've had a trail of heartbreak behind you, to look at what you've gotten and what was missing. Certainly the number one characteristic, I would hope, is that you find a man that loves God as much as you love God.
Now that's going to be very important. I mean, that is foundational.
It's foundational. It's to the core of who that person is. When things get really tough, and as we know in this economy right now, it is tough, where is the rock going to be? And you want somebody whose rock is with God.
Right.
So yes, find out what you want, but what are the other important characters? What is important to you? If you want some tall, dark, and handsome guy, that you can put that on the list. I tell ladies to just go crazy, make a list of whatever you want. It's for your eyes only at this point. Put anything down, but we're looking for the core, non-negotiable traits that you want.
Right. Because you know, some of those things, I mean, obviously, you know, looks, that's something that we all think about and take into account, but really, that's not really at the top of the list as far as comparing to godly character and integrity and a relationship with the Lord, and you know, all of those things to me are much more important than some of those carnal, fleshly
Absolutely,
attributes.
because who the person is who you get.
Right.
I mean, it might be nice to have them on your arm, but you want to be attracted to them.
Right.
But that shouldn't be your number one priority. I mean, I used to say if I couldn't kiss the guy by the 5th date, I wasn't attracted to them. So that was my determining factor on that. But what was really important is you make that list of what you want, then you narrow it down by what is must have at the top, and that it'd be nice to have this, but I could live without it.
Right.
Because you're going to be going for someone that you're looking for. And if you haven't really thought it through, you're just going to go through who comes on to you.
You know, I have known singles who have made those lists and they're still single. Well, I mean, because the list would be so exhaustive and so out of touch that you maybe can miss some really gems along the way. What about that?
I agree with you on that. That's why it's important that it's great to make the list so you know what you're looking for, but then you have to go to what really matters. It would be nice to have all these other things that take up 10 pages.
Right.
But what are the 5 things that they must have? Is it important that they live in a certain part of the country for you? If you don't want to be a missionary in Africa and they feel like they're called to the Peace Corps and he's going there, then you're not going to be a good match unless God changes your heart.
Yeah, because you would have to have the same heart and calling.
Yeah.
And if you do have a calling on your life, you need to marry someone who also has a calling.
And that brings up another point. Why I am one of those people that stands firmly on, I believe dating is important as opposed to the the method of some other authors out there that thinks that you should just wake up and expect God to just throw them on your doorstep and walk down the aisle before you've ever held hands. I think it's important to get to know the person and to spend quality time with him. And that's what dating's all about.
Him or her, whoever.
Yes.
Yeah.
Dating is about getting to know another person.
Well, we're out of time. Her book is Finding a Man Worth Keeping, and it's available now. I want to thank you, audience. Thank you so much for being here today. Until next time, bye-bye for today.